Hello internet friends, happy Friday. In this video, you might have seen that the title is Fuselage 01. Does that mean I'm done with my elevators? Oh no it doesn't. But, happy day, fuselage kit has arrived. So as you can see, it arrives in a crate. Yeah, let's talk about the crate. So the crate shows up on a truck, right? Like a 40-foot container-sized truck. And they roll up in your neighborhood, and of course I live on a cul-de-sac, so luckily this guy was smart enough to back in. I didn't get any shots of that, so I'm not going to be able to show that to you. So anyway, he's got a lift gate, so that comes down. So the easiest way that I've found to get these crates up to my driveway is just have a furniture dolly from Harbor Freight, for $10. I use two of them, and I just push the box right off the lift gate onto the furniture dollies and just roll it up my driveway and stick it in my garage. So that's worked pretty well. For anyone that's wondering what do I actually do with the crate once it shows up to my house, that was my solution. And in fact, I think you can see it's still kind of out of the crate resting on the furniture dollies, so I can move it around real easy. Like I said, that's a pretty good solution. Otherwise, I don't know how you'd move around that giant crate. So the next thing you do after you open the crate is you look for the inventory list, and then you start taking the parts out and counting all the parts to make sure you have them. I think I've said in previous videos I ended up missing a bolt here, a firewall connector there, right? That's why it's important to count every single piece, and so that's what we're going to do. Now you'll also notice that Vans wraps all these parts in paper, so you end up with just a giant mountain of paper. That ended up, I don't know if I threw that in the truck or threw it in the recycling. Maybe a future video will tell me, but either way, that all went to the landfill. But again, before you throw any of that paper away, double check it to make sure that there's no parts in it. Because it's pretty easy to lose one of those parts. Even though they're wrapped in individual kits, so individual sub-kits. You can see I took it apart, counted all the parts, and then just wrapped it back up in some plastic. That seems to work pretty well to keep everything together. So in the future, when the plans say, go grab this part from sub-kit whatever, actually, I don't think the plans say what sub-kit is in. It's just like, grab this part, and then you have to reference back to the inventory list, and that says, well, this part is in this sub-kit. So what I found is it's easier to keep the parts in the sub-kit, because if I don't know what the parts are, right, this is my first time building an airplane, and I'm not super familiar with the parts, so when it says grab part F-9027, and I'm like, I don't know what a 9027 is, it should look like this, and if it's just in a giant pile of parts, then it could be hard to find, but it's a lot easier when I look at the inventory list and it says, oh, well, 9027 is in sub-kit 10. Then I go unwrap sub-kit 10, and there it is, easy to find. So that's my recommendation, is keep the parts in the sub-kits until you're going to use them. It just helps make the parts easier to find. Also want to point out adjustable height table from Home Depot is really useful here because you can sit down, put the parts on it, and count them. You can lower it down to be kid-sized, so kids can help you. So if you've got the EA builder table, whatever, and it's 3 feet tall, that's taller than a kid. Well, not really, but it makes it harder for them to help. So if you want child labor when you're counting parts, then having a table that comes down to their level is really helpful. Alright, let's see if I have any updates. Training. So it's super hot here in Vegas. It's still over 90 degrees at night, and that's kind of my threshold for wanting to go fly in a bubble canopy with no air conditioning. So maybe once it gets down to 80, I'll start doing my training flights again. So yeah, no updates there other than to say it's hot and I don't have a burning desire to be burning. I did go to work this week, and had an actual live in-person meeting. It was nice. Um, yeah, it's been a while since I've done that. Unfortunately, here in Vegas, when I got back from AirVenture, apparently we had gone back to masks, so that was disappointing. In fact, I walked into the gas station to buy a drink, and they yelled at me for not wearing a mask, and I was super confused. I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yep, order went in at midnight this morning, and I had no idea because I had been at AirVenture all week with basically no cell or data service, and I just walked off the airplane and, dropped everyone off at home, and I was out, maybe grabbing a pizza or something. But anyway, stopped in the gas station, get a drink, and they yelled at me for not wearing a mask. So, put a mask on. Obviously, I had one in the car, because that's where I kept them, for obvious reasons, right? But yeah, so that's disappointing. So I don't know. The whole, just people go get vaccinated. Like, we have the science. We paid the scientists. They did their job. They made the thing that's going to save us all, right, from the apocalypse. Like, let's just stop the apocalypse. Why can't we just do that, right? Why are we like, no, let's just do the apocalypse? It's kind of like 100 low lead. Like, yeah, we have unleaded gasoline. We have ways to make that work in our airplanes, but you know what? We're just going to keep using leaded fuel because, even though we know that causes birth defects and lead does all kinds of terrible things, cancer, dying. Like, nah, we're just gonna keep doing it because we're idiots. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great weekend and try not to be an idiot. Bye bye.